In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the rear drum brakes on this Subaru Forester. These are going to be located behind the rear wheels. Let's get into it. We're going to remove the wheel, use a 19mm socket, take the lug nuts off. Remove the wheel. You can take some bolts. There's two threaded holes right here. As you tighten those up, it's going to push the drum off. You can even give it a tap as well and pull the drum off. We're going to take these springs off. Just use some locking needle nose pliers. Grab this spring and then you want to pull it towards the back of the vehicle. Set that aside. This little lever here, I'm going to pop that off. And you can see the spring on the inside. You want to grab that right there. Pull that back. Take the hook off there. And we can spread this forward. Take the adjuster out. And then that spring just fell down. Take that spring off as well. You can move the shoes to the side like that. Now we're going to remove the hold down springs. We're going to use a brake spring remover tool. Just push on the spring, compress it. And you twist it to release it. On the back side, you're going to hold the pin from spinning. Just be careful. Pop that out. You can take the pin out as well. It's a good idea to replace the hardware while you're doing this. I'll do the same on the other side. There we go. Take the pin out and take the shoe, slide it down. There's a spring right here. Take that off. And the other shoe that slides off. I'm going to spin it around. See where there's a clip. I'm going to pop that clip out. I'm just going to take a straight blade screwdriver, get in between there. You just want to pry this apart. I'm just going to give this a tap. Tap that down. Just with a hammer. And there's a little bit of a gap there. Just get in the gap and then you pry it out. You can always cut it off, especially if you get a hardware kit and then it comes with the new hardware kit. There we go. Take that horseshoe clip off, a little washer, a little spring washer, and take the bracket off. We're going to take this bracket off for the parking brake. I'm going to use some needle nose pliers, grab onto this barrel right here, and push the spring. We'll just wrap this around just like that. It comes right off. On our vehicle, we are replacing the hub, but if you're reusing the hub, you're going to want to clean this up with a wire brush. Just get any of the corrosion off, the rust, any large chunks of rust off. Just get that off, do that all the way around the hub, and do the best you can. Before we put the shoes on, just take a little brake caliper grease, and just all the contact points where the shoes are going to rest, that's where you want to put a little of the grease. This is just some silicone brake lubricant. You can see where the little bumps are. And right there. That's good. Now take this bracket, some needle nose locking pliers. You want to tighten down on the barrel of the cable. Slide the spring back. And we want this to go like this. So on the right side you can see the R. Pull that. little bit tricky. You almost need another hand. If you need to have an assistant help you, push that back. Slide that on. Pull it through, just like that. Pull off the locking pliers. So that goes like that. Now I'm going to take the shoe that has the pin that goes through it. I'm going to go through this bracket here. And then we're going to take the spring washer, put that on, and then this little horseshoe clip. Get that lined up. Go around there. We're going to tighten that down. Just going to use some side cutters. Just be careful not to cut it. There's 2 little notches in there, so if you get in the right spot, just so it stays. There we go. That's good. And it moves good. It's not going to pop off. Now I'll take the new pin, slide through the back, go through the brake shoe, take the spring and the small retainer. Get that lined up. Push it on and twist. There we go. There you go. That's good. Take the other pin, get that started in the back, right there. Take the lower spring, attach the 2 shoes together. I'm going to roll this up, go through the pin, and we'll put this other spring on and the retainer. Get this lined up. There we go. That's good. Now the piston and the wheel cylinder is crooked. Right here, I'm just going to take a straight blade screwdriver, just twist that so that the shoe lines up right. Do the same on the other side if it's not lined up. That looks good. I'm going to take the adjuster. You want to just take this apart real quick. Just clean it up if there's any rust on there. And then you can put a little dab of anti-seize on the threads. Just a little dab of anti-seize, that's good. You can put some on the other side as well. On the cap. Just like that. Tighten this down. You can just wipe any excess with a rag. All right, you don't want that tight, you just want it to be able to move like that. It's good. So just be careful, this is gonna pop off. You get this lined up. And you see the window right there. You want the adjuster where that window is. All right. We're going to use the needle nose pliers to put this spring on. It's a little bit easier to control. We want that through this hole right here. All right, that's good. Make sure that adjuster's lined up. We're going to go through this hole right there. That looks good. Take the self-adjuster bracket. You can get this lined up. Just like that. Now take this spring, use the needle nose locking pliers. It's going to go in the same hole as the other spring. And then this is going to go over to the self-adjuster. There we go, just like that. Get this centered. That looks good. You want to make sure these springs are not touching the wheel. If they are, then one of the springs is either reversed or not in the right position. So double check that. Make sure that wheel is able to spin. Now I'm just going to take a thin coat of anti-seize on the hub surface. All right, that's good. Now take the drum, get this lined up. And you're going to want to take that off. And we'll adjust this up a little bit. Just use a straight blade screwdriver. Make your adjustments. Get back on. You just want it barely touching. I like to do this in threes. Turn it 3 times, go back on, try it. Take it off. Just keep doing this until it's almost too tight, and then we'll just back it off. Getting closer. There we go. Okay, it's almost too tight, so we're going to pull it off. I'm going to back it off a little bit. Just going to pull the adjuster out and then turn the wheel backwards. It's good. Get that lined up. And it feels pretty good. It's good. Now put the wheel on. Get that lined up. Get the lug nuts on. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque these lug nuts to 65 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Go around again, double check. That was a quick and easy job. Now you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.